Hello, everybody, and welcome in to another episode of It's Not Only Football, blank, 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 and Beyond Summer Cruise Edition.
Woohoo, beep, beep. Honk, honk. That's what it is.
The honk honk gets me every time, and I'm
honk,
sure
honk.
it gets everybody out there, too. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another. You know what? I've been thinking about this. It's like a day cruise. We're actually just like going out for like a day. We're not like going out for nights at a time. You know, we're going out. We're having a party cruise.
Yeah.
We're
coming back to
drinking.
shore. It's pretty quick, up and down. We're gonna go on another one. We're gonna put the cruise director just on hold just for the day because, well, he needs a day off. I mean, everybody needs a day off, and we're turning the cruise director over actually to our audience today. We've been gathering your questions, your comments, your jokes, and we're going to tackle a bunch of them today. Yeah, see what I did there? Tackle?
See,
Yeah.
Who needs sound
No?
effects?
Yeah, I just do it myself. Actually, a lot of people hate that tackle sound that we put over the F-bombs and the spoilers, but we thought it was funny. Sorry if you didn't. Oops.
Well, now you just have Scott doing it.
But before we fire this whole thing up, if this week is not only football for you, Zach, what would it be?
I think it's got to be your announcer voice. I just realized after 40-some episodes, it still makes me laugh and look away.
Not laugh and look away. A little of the old laugh and look away. It's classic. combo.
So I'm just, that's what it is for me this week.
You know, you're not
That's
the only
really
one out
good.
there who has something to say about my announcer voice. Actually, in the comments, someone named Double Dare Danielle commented and said, "Can we please talk about the largest elephant in the room? How has no one ever brought up the fact that Scott sounds exactly like a gentleman named Mark Summers from my youth?
Oh, I love
90s
Mark
Nickelodeon
Summers.
Double Dare. Can we please get a reboot of Double Dare started with Scott immediately? And do you have a favorite game show or a favorite cartoon when you were a kid?"
I mean, I think you could do that right now, too. I think a game show is okay.
I
And
guess.
you are like that. First of all, clearly Danielle, great situation. Also, clearly Danielle has Double Dare on the mind. I mean, for God's sakes. But I agree. Mark Summers, that was a huge thing. Was Legends of the Hidden Temple? That was the game show, right? You have
Yeah.
to like win something. That was my shit.
That
I've
I
never
went to
heard of
live
that.
tapings of because they filmed it at Universal Studios theme park in Florida. And
Which
I went to
fuck
high
the
school
studios.
and college down there. Yeah, now we pick it out, but used to be able to go in and watch people climb fake pyramids for some fake prizes. Those kids weren't even getting money. It was just like, here's a fake easy bake oven. It's like, you know,
And remember
toys
how
for a
scary it was when
year.
they had to run through the temple at the end? It was like the blue barracudas are running through, and then it was like literally you'd be like running through the ball pit, and then all of a sudden like a skeleton would like suck you into a closet, and they were like, "Sorry, you're out." I was like, these kids are brave.
These
as
are kids on the
hell.
show?
Yeah, it was all
It's
kids.
kids.
It was Nickelodeon in the
Oh.
90s. They had like a string of really fun, really cool.
Jumping through the nose. What was that? Was that Double Dare where you had to like slide down the snot nose and
Yeah,
there was an
Yeah.
obstacle
slime was
course?
definitely Double Dare.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so sick.
I don't know. As a kid growing up, I liked Pirates of Dark Water. I liked Double Dare. Double Dare I was a big fan of, actually, growing up.
Yeah,
So
it's
I'm
great.
right there with the Nickelodeon nostalgia, you know, that Danielle's feeling.
I'm just trying to remember anything. All I remember is American Gladiators.
Oh,
There's
yes.
the new. I really like. I know we can talk about cartoons, and I just want to say, as evidenced by my personal style today and every day, like clearly extremely influenced by Rugrats, like very much into the postmodern, Memphis Milano, Mark Mothersbaugh, and my mom actually used to work a lot at Klasky Shupo Animation Studios. So when I was like a little kid, I got to go there and like run around, and it was the most fun thing ever. It was like a giant room where everybody was just being weird and having cool furniture, and it was like I have like some really special memories from that. So if you notice me looking especially 80s geometric recently, it's because of the Rugrats.
You're feeling nostalgic.
My hair
course.
matches your whole vibe today. Like, I haven't had a haircut. We're on strikes, so I'm not like, I have nothing to get a haircut
Part it down the
for.
middle.
And it's, I
Show
know
us
I
what we
should.
wanna see.
I should do just right down the middle like I used to, 90s boy band style. But right now I got a little bit of a Zach Morris feather to the side of the hair here. We're
wall
taking
also,
it back.
it's like where you walk up against the wall. Remember that one? It was
What?
like they used to call it the wall, like the little flip up. At my school, we called it the wall because it looked like you ran into a wall. And it
Oh, the
flipped up
hairdo.
straight up. Yeah.
Wow, I'm out of my element on this one today.
Girl, wake up.
I'm awake. We said it, I always say it's like I don't remember anything,
Yeah.
let alone my childhood. Come on.
I don't know.
Right.
As
Black that out.
growing up, like cartoons were one
Lucky
thing,
you.
but man, I loved a game show, a trivia show. Just give
Jeopardy.
me any of those. Jeopardy.
My number one forever Jeopardy. I still am. Watched every episode with my family. Like we got to go to a taping before Alex Trebek died, which was one of the most special experiences I've ever had in my life. And yeah, I mean, nothing is better.
Yeah.
I've amassed everything I know. I've know this tiny much about because I learned it on Jeopardy. I only know one fact about every subject.
Well, that's impressive.
I watched Wheel of Fortune a ton with my grandma. She's very good at Wheel of Fortune. $10,000 pyramid, card sharks. My mom and I used to play like card sharks, just not even when the show was on. We just one higher or lower. We bet who was going to have to clean the kitchen, That kind of stuff was fun.
What
but,
about Price is Right? Bob Barker.
Hey, rest in peace.
R.I.P.
Yes.
Bobby.
He came in just under 100.
Yep, he didn't go over.
God bless.
God bless. Anyway, my afternoons as a kid were spent watching either game shows or watching like Tailspin, Gummy Bears. I mean, any number of cartoons, like the old school stuff. So, Double Dare Danielle, we are right there with you. May, if this week was not only football, which it's never football for you, what was it?
This week was not only football. It was like raging Mercury retrograde. I know it's like, here she goes again with her astrology bullshit, but I'm like, you guys, I am fucking struggling. I'm like, everything is breaking. It's almost comical. It's at the point where it's like a lot of Mercury retrograde stuff is like technology based, like stuff not working or just like being really difficult. And like, I'm like, my air conditioning's broken on the hottest days I know. And like everything is happening at once. My car smells like smoke and I open it up and there's like a weird nest in there. It's just like,
Oh, you had rats
every
in the
single
engine.
a rat's nest.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My car overheated on the way into the studio and I popped my trunk open and I went to put the coolant in and my foam is just in little balls everywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck? And then I went
It's
to
rats.
open the coolant and there's like a little divot around where I take the cap out and there's rat poop in my
Oh, yeah.
engine. I'm like, this
Oh,
cannot
yeah.
be safe for you all. How long have they been in there?
I
What
don't
are
know.
their names? Where did they come from?
Never met them.
I want to know the whole story. I don't know about you.
I would just want them out of my car.
It's brutal. They grabbed like a piece of like my rug that I had outside that I was going to donate and grabbed some rug and put it in there. I mean, they are like crafty little fuckers, I must
I know,
admit,
they're
but I was
annoyingly
like,
smart.
They took a little
Yeah.
chair from the dollhouse.
yes, they
put it
put
up
a
in
little
there.
painting up.
They get a little
It
little
was-
pool up there now. They're swimming, backstroking when you open your engine. Just
I
like
actually-
Yeah.
So this is crazy. This was like several months ago. I woke up and I was like, ugh, I just had a dream that there was a rat in our house. And my wife was like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm calling the exterminator. I'm not like a prescient. I don't believe in it. Not I don't believe, but I'm just not that guy. And she's
Cool
like,
word.
wow, you must have had a really messed up dream if you're like calling the exterminator to come over preemptively. I was like, I can't deal with that option. So he came, he set the traps, whatever. And then that night we were out and our babysitters with our kids, and she sent us a video. She's like, there's definitely something up there, but it sounds bigger than a rat. And it was like, and we're like, oh my God. I was like, what is that? Like, it's like a rodent of unusual size. And so then
rouses.
I text the guy. We have like the nicest exterminator. I text him and I sent him the video and I said, I just so you know, this is what's happening up there. He calls me at 7 a.m. the next morning on Sunday. He's like, well, we definitely got something. Is it okay if I come over? I was like, yes, please.
Oh my God.
And he goes up there and he's up there forever. I'm like, what? He got away. Like, what is it? And he said, yeah, I found it. Usually I anchor the traps, but I forgot to. So basically, the trap closed on the rat and it was running back and forth in our crawl space
Jesus.
with a trap attached. But he was still alive, so he caught and released him. And
Great. I'm sure he was feeling real great after
what do you want
that.
me to do? I don't want rats in my house.
Ugh.
Yeah, but it's like you being like, don't worry. Only has a broken back and no legs and no tail and one
I didn't
eye.
ask
and
questions, but here's the most important thing. I was right. My dream was right. Why are you guys focusing on the bad stuff? Here's the thing. I'm psychic, guys.
You're right.
Yeah.
You have the gift.
So
You
have
just
you
don't
ever
want to
been
use it.
psychic? Legitimately?
There is a you want to talk about something going wrong? I mentioned last week we had rabbits, my wife and I. And the first rabbit she had was IHOP. And the audience doesn't know that when my wife and I started dating, I was still living with Zach. And then all of a sudden, Zach was living with myself and my wife and our rabbit.
I remember this story.
He was gone for a couple of months, and
Yeah.
so she kind of was like staying at the place. And I was away for work, and so she's at the apartment by herself. And
With her bunnies.
under the dishwasher, there was enough space for IHOP to hop under there, and then like she'd like to just chill down there, hang out, like whatever under the dishwasher. My wife needed to go to work, and she reached. She calls me. She's like, we're talking. She's like, yeah, I gotta go, and IHOP will not come out. She's like, IHOP, come on, and I hear her. She reaches under the dishwasher. She's like, come on, IHOP. She's now petting IHOP, and then IHOP jumped on her chest. And she's still petting something underneath the dishwasher. And I'm on the phone with her, and I just hear, oh my God, that's not IHOP! And then the phone goes dead. And I'm like, what just happened? She picked up IHOP, got out of there so fast, jumped up on the island in the middle of the kitchen. And it was a rat. She was petting a rat under the dishwasher,
Oh my
thinking it was a
God.
bunny, and then the bunny jumps on her chest. Oh, it was.
I mean, two thoughts on that. First
Yeah.
of all, that rat better be glad I wasn't there. Because I would
Yeah,
have called my guy.
clearly. You would have caught him and
Second
slapped
of all,
him around and then
I mean,
released
no
him.
judgment
somewhere.
towards IHOP, but either this is the cleanest, most well-coiffed rat, or your bunny was not too fluffy.
You pet IHOP before. She was incredibly soft. She was the
Yeah,
greatest.
you're not thinking about it.
she
You know,
was the
I have to
greatest
just
rabbit
bring
that's
this
ever
up
lived.
too because this is another thing I've been stressing out about is have you guys ever seen a pest called? Well, first of all, when Miles and I used to live at my old house, we both happened upon this thing. We were walking up the steps and we were like, "What the fuck?" And it was this like truly like 3-inch long, looked like a giant ant, but it was like juicy and gooey and wet and fully had facial features, like a full face, and was like looking at us. And we were so fucking scared. And it's called, we figured out it was called like, some people say potato bug, some people say Jerusalem cricket.
Oh yeah,
Don't-
yeah.
Look it up unless you want to be
Well, now I
disgusted.
have
and
to.
And don't
Yeah,
look
of
it in
course
the
you do.
eye.
it's do not.
Oh,
It's
that's not
also
as bad
like
as I thought it was going to be. But that's pretty
you
good.
can't. No, it is. You don't understand. It has like gravitas. Like it'll be. There was one in my house like a few months ago, and it like gives you. It's not like
I just
there's
got
a bug in my house. It's like you and the bug, and you're like we are now in this together. There's like a presence, and it doesn't go fast. It just like walks at you. It's not afraid. It's really upsetting, and I have a video of Miles desperately trying to scoop it out of the house and fling it, screaming at the top of his lungs, and I'll send it to you guys.
Here's the thing. If you want to Google something that'll make you
Oh,
Google baby, I think it's like a hairless mole rat or something.
That sounds cute.
Uh-uh.
Let me see.
It's gross. And you guys can all go and look, but that one got me. Anyway,
Yeah, sorry.
Um,
That's my big fear. Oh, it's cute. What's your problem?
okay, great.
so I hope Mercury goes into what 4th grade?
Me too.
What happens when
Like,
it moves forward?
Just normal grade.
Just normal
go.
grade.
Just in grade.
Just
I
go
hope
forth.
Mercury goes back to its regular
Mercury.
grade. Just
Yeah.
It's got to
stops-
stop. I can't
Stops
take
with
it
it.
anymore.
We like the retro outfit. We like the retro hair. We do not like the retro grade.
Correct.
Facts.
If this week is not only football for me, it actually was motherfucking football, baby. Fantasy football is coming up. So me and my buddies, like all of us still like best friends from high school actually, went away and did our annual draft weekend. And now like most of us have kids and stuff, so we all dropped the kids off at the parents, the grandparents' houses or the aunts and uncles. And we rent a compound somewhere. There's like 20 of us that go for this draft weekend, and we just spend like a 4-day adult weekend, like by a pool, talking football. Just had like the most amazing
the
weekend.
look at
Real
May's
football
face
or
right
fake
now.
football? I don't understand what fantasy football is.
It's
Fantasy football is a little much to explain to you now. We'll do it off air.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
you draft fake teams by looking at all the NFL players out there who you think is going to perform
It's like
the
a game of
best,
strategy.
right? I'm sure there's like
Yeah.
fantasy bachelorette. I'm sure you can pick a couple of contestants, and if they stay on the show longer, you get a
Yeah.
point a day that they're still there. You get 3 points per rose.
Yeah.
You know, like all that stuff. If you get
Okay.
if you pick the big winner, you know, I play in a fantasy survivor league, so
It's become a big
Jesus.
thing, fantasy
Yeah.
football.
A lot of fantasy.
fantasy
Okay.
A
everything.
lot of people play it. Not everyone. It's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone,
That's
but
okay.
it is for me. And I just want to give a shout out to the Best Friends League BFL in the house.
Oh,
Shout out
wouldn't be an episode
King.
without a Scott shout out.
Yeah,
Without a Scott
Shout out
out.
King.
There's 11 other players, so I won't name them all. But Big Ben Hallmiller, that I talked about last week in the food section of our show, he is in the league, and we did eat this weekend. Man, I made 10 pounds of wings on the grill.
Wow.
We had a brunch that trumped all brunches ever in history. With 3 members of the league made this almost amazing 3-phase brunch. Oh, thing was incredible. So we ate all weekend, we drank all weekend, we hung up by the pool, we threw some bags, played some cornhole.
Where was this?
We went to Temecula this year, but we go somewhere different every year. We've been to Ojai, Temecula. Next year, we think we might go to Dublin, Ireland.
Yes,
Wow.
brother.
You are all in on this fantasy football draft.
It's awesome, man. I mean, look, are you friends with anybody from high school?
Yeah, I'm in a fantasy football league with them.
This is awesome.
Don't lie.
Are you
My
friends
wife
with
is
anybody?
never going to let me go to Ireland for a fantasy football draft.
No, my
Why?
wife goes
Say
with
it's about
me.
something
Oh,
else.
that's
No,
nice.
no, this is the secret sauce. My wife comes with me.
Well, that sounds delightful.
Dude, do that. Drop the kiddos off. You
try.
know? Have somebody stay with them for 72 hours. You go. Didn't you do this recently? Didn't you go with some friends in Northern California
Yeah, I
and
took my
spend
kids
a
with
weekend?
me.
Oh, you took your kids.
Yeah.
Big mistake.
Well, we were telling May, well, I have kids. He's telling me that's the best weekend of his year is when he gets rid of his kids. He tells
I
me
get
it's a
it.
big mistake. Well, anyway.
It's
I
important to
did
get
not
space for
say-
yourself. Like, that makes sense. I feel like if I was married with kids and my husband was like, I am going, I would be like, thank God. Go away. You know?
I did not say it's the best weekend of my year, but it is a fantastic, like,
It's up there.
it's just a weekend where we get to go and just have fun as adults for a
Yeah,
weekend.
baby.
And, without the constant, persistent needing to wake up in the morning super
Yeah.
early every day. So
Yeah.
it's not only football. Friday Night Lights and Beyond is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Most of you listening right now are probably multitasking. Yep. While you're listening to us talk, you're probably also driving or cleaning or exercising, maybe even grocery shopping. But if you're not in some kind of moving vehicle, there's something else you could be doing right now. Getting an auto quote from Progressive Insurance. It's easy, and you can save money by doing it right now from your phone. Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save nearly $700 on average, and auto customers qualify for an average of 7 discounts. Discounts for having multiple vehicles on your policy, or being a homeowner, and a lot more. So, just like your favorite podcast, hopefully us, Progressive will be with you 24/7, 365 days a year, so you are protected no matter what. Multitask right now. Quote your car insurance at Progressive.com to join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $698 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2021 and May 2022. Potential savings will vary. Discounts not available in all states and situations. College football fans, are you ready for week 1? I'm from Nebraska. Go Big Red. You know dang well I am. And so is DraftKings Sportsbook. They're hooking you up with a can't-miss offer to start the season strong. This week, new customers can bet just $5 on college football and score $200 in bonus bets instantly. Anything can happen in college football. Your team could go from unranked to dynasty mode in just a couple of years, and that's, quite frankly, is what I'm hoping will happen with my Cornhuskers. Anyway, the point is, change comes fast. The only thing that's a lock is great offers from DraftKings Sportsbook. Look, life is more fun when you're in on the action. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code LIGHTS. New customers can score $200 in bonus bets instantly when they bet just $5 on college football. Only on DraftKings Sportsbook with code LIGHTS. LIGHTS. And then guess what? Crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. ccdkng.co/football for eligibility terms and responsible gaming resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Eligibility and deposit restrictions apply. Anyway, fantasy football is coming back. It's different for everybody, but I just love the camaraderie of it all. I love seeing my buddies for a weekend, and then I win championships too. So it's just all around a fun.
God, I have like no friends. You guys all are like me and my 1,100 friends. I'm like, what the? I have like 5 friends. I mean, and I love them. I'm obsessed with them, and I would absolutely jump into traffic for them. But like, I can't squeeze more in.
Oh,
there's no time.
No, there's no time. These are just people I know. They're friends.
No new friends, as Jake says. Anyone? Jake the rapper, you guys love him, right?
Yeah, 100%. I do appreciate the fact that you did gain 2 friends this week. Last week you said you only have 3 friends. This week you have 5 friends. So
yeah,
it's a big week.
Things are looking up.
Huge week.
Huge
Namaste.
week.
Huge week.
Thank you.
I love it.
I also I can't say anything, but I did also watch something that our own Zach Guilford was in this week, and I hate to admit it, but he's a good actor and he's hot.
Oh,
and I just want to
so sweet.
Make sure that everybody knows that. Okay.
If you can find the random thing I did,
that's me. This is my love language. Okay.
It's anything you've ever done, Zach, isn't that?
Okay. Moving on. What do the people want to know?
Okay. Yeah. Let's turn it over to our cruise director this week. They are the people out there. Dan the man said irrational fear of raccoons and mice. So we've already really set poor Dan down a river of anxiety today. Apologies. But speaking of anxiety, it's summer. It's a summer cruise. And Laney21 wrote in and said, since we're doing summer vacations, do you have any travel horror stories? I'll start while you guys think about it. My wife and I, our honeymoon was an incredible time.
Yeah, Bora Bora, right?
But she let me book
good friends.
Yeah, Bora Bora. Yeah. Met those people that one time. Right. Almost sleptwalked myself into the ocean. That being said, my wife let me book the whole thing. She was like, "You got it." I was like, "Yeah, I got it, babe. I got it. I had to book an overnight in layover in Tahiti, and I was just under the assumption that, the airport, like they are here,
can stay there.
And probably just stay open all night. No, everyone has to leave the airport in Tahiti. And near the airport, there's like no hotels. So we're out front and we start hearing whispers of a hostel that's like just up the mountain. We're like, okay, yeah, maybe we can, how do we get to the hostel, right? There's no Uber. And there's nothing. We're like, all right, how do we get to this hostel? And then this one couple's like, we hear the hostel guy is coming. We're like, great, okay. This old beat up rusty and white van pulls up. The side door flings open, and this dude's like, hey, who's looking to go to the hostel? No, thank you. Not us. Not I, said me and my wife. And we were like, what are we going to do? We're outside. It's like 100 degrees still in the middle of the night. We slept on our suitcases.
Wow. Outside?
We slept outside in front of the airport on our suitcases. I mean,
But that's a great story, at least.
It's a fun story, I guess.
Thank God you have a story for now.
It was. It's gotten funnier the more time has gone past. but yeah, my wife's like, do you want to plan the trip? Too bad. No more.
Yeah.
No more for
I get that.
you.
You lost your privileges. I feel like the only thing I can think of is like, I tend to, as you know, I'm pretty like whatever, but I'm like, when something goes wrong, I'm like pretty good. I'm not good at planning. I'm not good at getting shit done and being organized, but I'm pretty excellent at like adaptability and mutability. So like when shit goes wrong, I'm definitely somebody you want on your team because I will make it work. But I will say the only thing that I can possibly think of is that when Miles was leaving, he was working up in San Francisco and he was like, I'm, moving back. So I went up there with some friends to be like, we're going to help him move out. And, he'd emptied out his entire apartment and there was nothing in there. And basically, all I can really remember is that for some reason I was like, somebody was like, hey, shouldn't we just do some acid tonight? And I was like, yeah, of course. So like, it's late. It's already late at night. And like, we're like, let's be careful. So we like only do a tiny bit. And then of course we go to karaoke. It's, Mariah Carey, we're screaming the sake. And then somebody was like, shouldn't we just do a little bit more? And I was like, yeah. So like out comes the little bottle and I squeezed some on the thing and I popped it in and somebody was like, oh. And I was like, what? And they were like, that was like 6 hits. And I was like, And then, lo and behold,
Did I just do
it
drugs?
started.
How much drugs
Oh,
did
yeah.
I just
Yes.
do?
How much
should have
drugs did I just do?
microdosed that stuff. You got a little,
Listen, I understand. It was a messy moment. We're speaking of messy moments. I've had plenty of very beautifully guided drug moments that, wouldn't make this category, but this category was
messy.
The acid didn't really hit until about 3:34 in the morning. And I was in Miles's apartment in this room that was completely empty. Everything was gone. And I was just like sitting in the middle of this room watching the sun come up out the window. And I had a lot to think about and think about a lot I did, but it was a little tough. I was like, I was like looking at the carpet and being like, hey, how are you? Can you help me?
Did you come
it
out
was
on the
that
other
kind of stuff.
side with any, revelations?
No, my
Mm.
revelation was don't drink sake and then do acid. It was like, just be like, calm down.
Well, I think
Of
that's a
course I
great
did. I always
life
get
lesson.
something out of it. There's always something special that's like ends up coming to me. But that one I had to really go deep inside and be like, you know what? You can do this. You don't need anything but yourself. It was like that kind of shit.
All right,
It's
cool.
character building, if you will.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Thank
You're looking
you.
at me like it's my turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like I already like it was the bear. Was that was that a
I mean, that was a rough one.
I was thinking about that the other day. I was like, that's so hot. But you were just like, no.
Well, that's what you gotta do. I mean, I'm not gonna lay
I
down
know,
and take it
but like, come on. What the
from a
so
bear,
chill.
like a literal bear.
I'm here, bear.
Well, this is an interesting. It was I got something out of it in the end, but it was the experience was a little maybe frustrating. My older sister, she did the Peace Corps in Mali, West Africa, and I was very fortunate enough to go visit her when I was 20, and she stays in this like really remote village, and she helps them with community building things and like literally building wells and homes and things like that. But at once a week you had to go travel. It was a bit of a journey to the market town to get supplies and such. And so one time I'd done it with her once, and I was like, "Oh, I'll go. I can do this because it's one road." So I go, I get the stuff. I'm on my way back. I thought I'd hitchhike or something, but like no one wanted to pick up, a strange white dude in the middle of West Africa, wearing a tiger sweatshirt. I wasn't. I didn't have this then. That was a joke.
You should have.
But anyway, I'm walking and I'm like, oh my God, this seems so much longer than the last time I did this. How far is it? And it's very warm out there. And I see a guy, working, sowing the fields. And so I kind of yell out to him. And I'm like, Iniche, which is how you say hello. And he looks up at me and then he just goes back to his work. And I was like, all right, he doesn't want to talk to me or whatever. And then I get a little closer. I'm like, Iniche, like, Inisoga Tratula Batagu, which was the name of my sister's village. And what I was trying to say is, hello, how far is it to get to Batagu? And he just looks at me. And I'm like, maybe he doesn't hear me. Maybe my bombra's off. And I go a little bit, and I'm like, now we're like kind of close. And I say it again, and he just looks at me and goes back to his work. And I'm like, all right, either he speaks a different dialect, I'm speaking gibberish, or he just doesn't want to talk to me. So I keep walking a little while. I'm like 5 minutes past him, and he yells out, Iniche! And I was like, now? And I turn around, and he's like, it will take you about half hour to get to Batagu. And I was like, thank you. And I just couldn't shake it. I was like, sorry, why didn't you tell me before? He said, I had to see how fast you were walking.
Come on.
And it was just one of those like, oh my God, that's wow, that is
incredible.
eye-opening. True story.
Wow.
I don't know. You told the you told the table maker as a true
Well, that
story.
one, I mean, that was
So
clearly
I don't know
like,
what to believe from you anymore.
well,
But this
I'll
is
own the fact
giving
that
true.
I didn't meet O'Reilly the goat. That was a yarn I
Yet.
spun.
Yet.
Yet someday
Yet.
I hope to.
Oh
I have so
man.
many
Wow,
questions.
that's incredible.
I'm gonna link the next question into what May was talking about. And Zach, I'm so delighted though by that story.
It's really special. Thank you.
So May did a lot of stuff. Could have seen a lot of things that night. Doesn't remember much about it, but there's other things you can see at night. Ghosts, if you believe in them. We had a question from Liz Walker 7178. Do any of you believe in ghosts?
Of
Do you have any
course.
ghost stories? May, you're of course.
Dude, what could I even it's countless. I mean, first of all, of course, whatever it is, however it manifests, Lord only knows. But yes, there's energies, there's science to it, there's this, there's that. But definitely I love it. I'm like, of course there's ghosts. And I try to be like respectful because I'm like, again, it's like me not wanting to put 666 on my email because I was afraid of summoning the devil. It's like, I'm just like, why not? Why not just be respectful? in
Don't
case
summon it
there's
to this
ghosts?
podcast.
Guys, it's it's too late now.
It's too late.
But I'm like, the devil's already here. Let's be honest. I totally believe. In fact, I was recently staying at a hotel in New Orleans with my boyfriend, and I woke up and he was like, that had been like a child's hospital home or something. Okay, that's already scary. And he was like, looked like ashen. And I was like, what? And he was like, there was a sound in the night and it was loud and it sounded like it was 2 feet from the bed. And I don't know what it was. And like, I was like, well, did you get up and look? And he was like, no, I was terrified. And I was like, smart. And then we got up and there was like the electrical socket that was like kind of by the door had like flown off the wall, had like come off the wall and was like sitting on the ground like 3 feet from the thing. And it wasn't like nothing was blown, nothing was broken. It wasn't like, oh, there was an electrical thing that shot it off the wall. It was as if somebody had like pulled it out. And later we looked it up and it was like, there is a kid ghost that runs around the halls on floor 2 and likes to like, play little pranks. So
I feel like
that just happened.
every place in New Orleans is haunted.
Totally.
Like maybe most haunted place in the United States.
That or Savannah.
Savannah.
Oh, Savannah.
So
They're everywhere.
So Zach, you're ghost? No ghost?
Oh, absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Heck.
Absolutely hard no.
You knew
Hard
there was a
no.
rat. Why can't you just
Yeah, because rats are real and gross.
Dude, I'm gonna send you a ghost so much.
My wife always tells me if she dies first, she's gonna haunt the fuck out of me. I'm like, go for
Totally.
it. Good luck.
So your wife believes in it.
Yeah, she believes in it.
Okay. You not so much. Me, I do. My
must.
little sister was born on my 15th birthday. And before she was born, we lived in this little condo and in Orlando, Florida. And most especially around the holidays, weird stuff would happen. My grandma Tootie, rest in peace, was my dad's mom. She would make all these awesome ceramics, and she would do all this cross stitch. And I have this clown that she made me when I was little, and she would make all these toys, these ceramics. And so at Christmas time, we'd get out this Christmas tree that she, created and painted and sculpted. And we'd have this little house and it has lights in it. And in the middle of the night, 2, 3 in the morning, in this house, my parents slept upstairs. I slept downstairs. And all of the Christmas lights, the tree, the music boxes, the houses, everything would turn on, like middle of the night, out of nowhere. We couldn't figure out what would happen, what would cause that stuff to happen. TV would turn on in the middle of the night. And I would come out and be like, what? I'm scared. I'm like 14 at this point. And then my mom one day thought that I was playing upstairs. She kept on hearing laughter, but higher and lighter in tone than my voice. And so we started talking about it and kind of putting it together like, is there a little girl ghost in this house? And we couldn't figure it out, but it was always very playful, right? We'd hear little things on the steps or we'd the the lights would turn on, stuff like that. Then my sister was born, and it was about 3 months after she was born. We took her to get her like little infant photos, and she was cute as a button, man. She was a round baby, and like you could just kind of set her up, and she would just like like she wouldn't roll.
Stay.
Yeah, she would just stay put. She was like a big fluffy stuffy, but as a baby. And so we have this so cute picture of my little sister. Shout out Ariana. She's got this hat on, this like dress, and we got one of them framed before we even left the photo studio. They printed it all up that day. We got it. We took it home, but then we had to go out to dinner. So we put the picture of her on my parents' bed. And then they have all this old West iconography like that hangs on their walls. Like a cowboy hat, a lasso, Butch Cassidy, Sundance Kid stuff, We come home from dinner. Everything has been taken off of their walls and stacked to the side, and the picture of my sister is now hanging in my parents' room.
No.
She was like a protector of Ariana until we moved out. And,
I have chills everywhere.
I thought, a lot of this stuff is just an elaborate trick. My dad's a prankster, like something, But one day, we had a very like straight like railway car kind of kitchen. Like it was counters on both sides, the pantry at the end. There was not much room to move. And I went to grab something out of the pantry. And when I opened that door, I felt something go through me that chilled me to my core. And I heard just a wisp of that laugh. And to this day, you cannot tell me that there was not a little girl ghost that was so excited that my sister was born there and was like a protector and a playmate for her when she was very young. And if you talk to Ariana, she is like, I have these imprint memories of like, even when she was that young, like that being a thing.
Yep, still not sold.
That's Guilford. Still
that's
not
amazing.
sold.
And I'm glad that it was a protector spirit because, in ghost lore, they say that sometimes a demonic entity will present itself as a little girl. So like anytime you watch like a ghost hunter show, they're like, is it a little girl or is it like, was there like an edge?
Ghoul,
and it's like, you got to be careful. Yeah. Cause they're like hiding up on the like
there's
counters.
girls
and
and
stuff.
ghouls.
Is it a little girl or is it a little
That's
ghoul?
really special. That makes me feel cozy and happy about the afterlife.
Yeah, no, she was a friendly ghost, and we were glad to have had that experience. I think all together as a family, But exactly what you're saying, I can't do like demonic ghost like movies like about like bad stuff because now I'm like I kind of believe that it's real, and I don't want to invite that anywhere. Let's move on to something that we do want to invite people to. Friends,
come on, communication director, give us one more good one.
I think I know May's.
Not that wasn't a good one.
I think I know May's answer to this question. We're going to stay on this like summer kind of topic. We had two people asking us very similar questions. Ange85888 and Kathy Mano both wanted to know who are your favorite bands. Summer, it's all about summer music, summer hits, right? Summer songs, all this stuff. So do you have a favorite band or a favorite song right off the top of your head? And in the summer, we also go see incredible concerts. I think May, again, I think I know your answer to this, but what is the best concert you've ever been to? And then she said as an aside, she was at the Skid Row concert when Sebastian Bach got arrested famously on stage.
Sick.
She was actually in the crowd.
Oh, wow.
So this is a big one for her because she had such a memorable experience. So
Jesus.
May?
You guys go first since I'm so
boy.
predictable. Maybe I'll surprise you.
We know yours. I haven't been to a concert in a long time, and I hate to say I have no desire to go to one.
I get it.
But I was very fortunate to have some really cool experiences, especially while we were in Austin. A lot of bands came through there, and it was at a time where we were on a show where people happened to like. So sometimes the band members would like come to our set or meet us, and then be like, "Come to our show tonight." So that was just like special experience. Not a lot of people get to experience, and I'm so grateful for it. But my favorite, you guys all know I'm a big Dave Matthews fan.
Woo!
We do not
Here we go.
besmirch Dave in this house.
That's fine.
Here
It's fine.
we
To
go.
each their own. There was just a New York Times article about Dave Matthews Band and why some people are so anti. Go look it up. Anyway,
I like how sensitive you are about this. It's
And
will
really
describe
exciting
him to
for
the
me.
subscribe to the Times. Subscribe to the Times. Support journalists.
journalism. So anyway, I don't think I've said this. I've been to over 50 Dave Matthews concerts.
No,
Yeah.
What?
I used to tour with
I
him
almost
like in the
choked on my
summers.
boba, bro. What?
And so
Wait. I thought you were leading hiking tours. You're just lying about that.
no.
You're going to see Dave
this
Matthews
is-
Band.
no, this was
No,
like
the
high
tours at
school.
night.
This was high
Camping during the
school.
day, bro.
And then the beginning of college, you can't lead trips until you're 21. So I had several summers, and I didn't grow out of them like their music, but I grew out of the touring. So anyway, they had a fan club that I was a member of. And if you're in the fan club, you could enter a lottery for tickets before other people. And there was one concert, I got front row tickets. And me and my best friend, shout out Mitch, the only person who gets one, we were like, oh my God. And that morning on the radio, promoting the show, he said something about, how is it doing the shows, blah, blah, blah. He goes, oh, it's great. The thing that always makes me laugh is when I start playing a song and people yell out the name of the song to be like, we know what it is just from the first couple things, and they're wrong. He said, so I'll start playing something and people will be like, Rapunzel. And I'm like, I'm not playing Rapunzel. So anyway, we went to the show and he referenced the specific song where it happened. They used as an example. And when he started playing it, we go, Rapunzel. And he looked at us and smiled and gave us a head nod.
Sick.
So that was like my big concert experience.
He's beaming, just so you guys know. He is like literally glowing.
No,
right
it's
now.
fun. That was a big moment for me at like
It's beautiful.
17.
I can't wait till this strike is over to write a script called My Summer with Dave. And I can't wait to put that scene in it. And it's just going to be incredible.
Wow.
Man, because my parents like met in a band, like I was around music my whole life. I've seen a lot of fantastic concerts, whether it's Bruno Mars or Billy Joel or, just one after the other. The Police is my all-time favorite band.
He's wearing the shirt.
Yep. I don't know that I have an all-time favorite song, but there's a song by an artist named Mark Broussard called Gavin's Song, and it's him singing to his son, even though he can't be there. He's on the road. He's gone, and this is all the hopes and dreams he has for his son. I wish you freedom. I wish you tears. I wish you armies to conquer all your fears. I mean, it's this beautiful, beautiful song with this incredible sentiments, So that might be one of my all-time favorite songs. But the two concerts I would say that like blew my mind were Glenn Hansard and Marketa Irglova, and they were performing together after this. There's a musical piece called Once, became a Broadway musical as well. But seeing them, the Swell season, just in person was, for me at that time in my life, just so incredibly impactful. I mean, I was crying, I was screaming, I was raging, I was laughing. I mean, it took me on a crazy journey. And my other all-time favorite concert is I went to the Paper Rock Scissors tour, and it was Sting and Peter Gabriel.
Sick.
And these two guys would look at each other's catalog before every night, and they would paper, rock, scissors for who was going to do what song. And they were doing each other's songs every single night, but just in like different orders. So like Sting, threw down scissors instead of paper and got to do Sledgehammer, or, Peter Gabriel singing Fields of Gold. I mean, it was an incredible night. And it was one of those moments that like I was there with my wife and I had the most incredible time, but I was like present, but also not present because I recorded like every single song because I was like, my dad would die if he was here, man. My dad would just want to see every minute of this because they're two of his all-time favorite artists. So I'm in it with my wife and we're watching, but I'm also in my left hand just recording the entire concert and one by one sending my dad these, because
that's awesome though.
It's my dad's favorite thing to do is like sit and watch live concerts. Like he has a collection of the craziest like live concerts, bootleg recordings of concerts of all kinds. He can tell you every member of every band ever. So that was special too, because it was awesome in the moment, but I was also able to share it like with my dad, like, just from across the country. So yeah, I'd say that those are
two good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're no
like
Eras tour.
If it makes you, well, yeah. Okay. Thank you. If it makes you feel better, I saw Coldplay too many times. Okay. So
Oh, I feel so much better. I was feeling fine.
well, you shouldn't. Have been, but I'm helping you now.
But I need to know, were they all yellow?
Please
my
just
God.
save it
Even
for
I,
after the podcast.
that
Okay.
was
Whenever you're telling me
too-
about fantasy
That wasn't
football,
even a
you
dad
can
joke. It was just a
hit me
bad
with that.
joke.
Yeah. There's But I will say, because in response, first of all, no offense, but I dated a lot of musicians. Okay, so I was zooming all over for a long time in my youth, touring, seeing. It was incredible. Lots of music in my life at that time. I got to see Radiohead at Coachella, which was unbelievable. Very good sounding band. I recently saw Rufus Wainwright at the
Oh, that's
concert
cool.
hall, and it like completely blew my mind. It was really one of the more beautiful experiences. To your point, Zach, not exactly the same, but when I was once at a theme park, Mark McGrath was playing. I was 12 and I was in the audience and he was playing Sugar Ray and he like locked eyes with me at one point and I wasn't even like particularly excited, even though I love the music. I was like, okay. And he like locked eyes with me and he just mouthed, "I love you." And I was like 12 and I was like,
Ugh.
"I love you too." Like with a slightly confused look on my face.
I
Yeah.
hope he's
So
like
that,
cross-eyed and he was actually looking at someone else.
Yeah, are you sure it was
I'm praying.
directly to you?
Cross-eyed.
Was it
Yes,
just
I
a
think
moment?
he probably just thought like he locked eyes with someone and he's like, well, if they're looking at me, then they're at my concert. They're gonna love this. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, I get it. It's a normal assumption, but
But
he
was
just
it a
sort of
sold out show? Could there have been just someone
No, it
over your
was like a
shoulder?
no,
Of
it
age?
was like a
It was at a
publicity
theme
moment.
park.
Yeah, it was dark. But yes, of course, the most recent experience in my brain is what everybody expected me to say, which was the Eras Tour, Taylor Swift,
it's a
one of the
moment in
greatest
time.
songwriters of our generation.
Yeah.
She's really amazing. And she's also like out there, like just blasting all the time, like 4-hour long concerts for a year and a half at a time or something. I mean, that's pretty incredible stuff.
Yeah,
I like it.
100%.
So-
Superwoman.
Shout out Taylor Swift. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you gotta get in. So what would like overtime be nowadays?
I could rapid fire just a couple of things from fans that are like super easy to answer, and
Way
then
to
we
go,
can
Zach.
get out of here because I mean,
I love it.
overtime also for me. I can't believe I didn't mention Explosions in the Sky. Saw them a couple of times.
Oh, yeah.
They are incredible live. It is an experience. And my wife and I may have walked down the aisle to Explosions in the Sky at our wedding. So
Wow.
they deserve a shout out. Zesty3722 wanted to give a big shout out to food contests. Once ate 18 slices of Godfather's pizza and 7 Whoppers in one sitting.
Good for you.
Ow.
Did you
Not
guys
the
ever
toilet.
do anything like that? I know I told my disgusting stories last week, but any eating contests for the
No.
two of you?
No.
I ate watermelon at my school once.
Just
I was like, this is no problem.
Like for
It was
snack
it was
or
like
in a
a water. It was a
competition?
contest,
It was a
not just like for fun.
did you
Okay,
win?
Of course not. I was eating slowly and enjoying myself, and then I started to feel sick, and I stopped while other people were like hogging it down. But
Wise
I sat
beyond
at the
your
table.
years.
No, the way you win a watermelon eating contest is to not worry about the juice. You just devour. I've done one before. It's a beautiful thing to just watch watermelon juice flowing down.
Okay,
It's a
what's the next one?
good life advice in general. Don't worry
we were
about
talking
the
about
juice.
things that kind of give us anxiety and stuff earlier. Oh my gosh.
It's me eating the watermelon.
There's that naked mole rat. Please go to YouTube, whatever minute this is, 42 or something, and see that picture that May just held up of that naked mole rat. Oh my gosh. Another thing that could be creepy, spiders. Is there a designated spider catcher in your home? Zach?
Oh, it's me. They don't bother me.
It's you? They don't bug you? They don't bug me either. And as a
They
matter
don't
of
bug me
fact,
either.
I like to let them just be a little bit.
Me too.
Because we've got a huge fly problem in California right now, and I am sick of it.
Yeah. We love a like eco-friendly bio yard pollinator moment.
We
so
all love
fuck it.
we all love a spider. I love
Spiders are
that.
great.
Maybe I blame it on Charlotte's Web. You know?
Oh,
I love
yeah,
it.
It was the bad person.
Speaking of books, Bookworm Jen, who sparked one of our greatest conversations of all time last week about our favorite books, said that everyone should read a book called The Wild Robot.
Okay.
It's good for adults and children.
Love
and,
that.
We should take a look at that. I'm going to give a shout out to Gloveboxification, who said that she may be the only other person in the world that has a Quillo. I know I've got to get Quillos made for the two of you.
I
And
want
get
one
them to your
so bad.
house. The quilt pillow. Ask my grandma how to do it, and I'll try to make you guys one. And last,
I want one from
but
your
not
grandma.
least, we'll save these other questions from Janice Chenault or Beverly Schmitz or and Nick Scobie. You guys are getting shout outs because we'll answer your questions next week. But we did get a favorite joke in, and it is from Ashley Bright.
Oh, I love this.
What do ducks wear to weddings, May?
I don't know. What do they wear to weddings, Scott?
Tuxedos.
That's what I was gonna guess. I didn't want to ruin the joke. That was my guess. I
He
could have
was
been so smart.
bursting.
And with that, we're going to take this boat back to shore. We want to say thank you so much to everybody out there who's been just, chatting with us about these episodes, whether it's observations or it's, shared insight that we have, or all the things that we've been talking about on our little summer cruises here. We cannot tell you how much we appreciate each and every one of you out there listening. We are having so much fun doing this, and it's all because of you. Like, really,
Yeah.
the INOF audience has been so cool and so awesome, and we appreciate you guys.
Giving us
Love
great
hanging with
content,
you.
people.
Yeah, baby. Thanks for helping make our jobs easy.
I can't wait for next week. We're going to talk about a whole other slew of things. Still in this blank pattern. So let's talk about more fun stuff next week. Get your questions, your comments, and everything in over at the Apple Podcast rate and review section. Give us a review. Give us a subscription. Click that button. Same thing over on YouTube. Hit the bell so you always know when the next episode of It's Not Only Football, blank, and beyond is coming out. Until next week, I have been your safety coordinator,
And our
Scott Porter.
communications director.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I got a second job.
Yeah.
Is that
Well,
a
we feel
promotion?
like you can multitask.
Hey,
I'm your captain, Zach Guilford.
And I'm your drunk first mate, May Whitman.
Still tripping balls on acid.
It me, baby.
only
There's
do
always
one.
one.
Microdose, May. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Peace.